Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's an honor to be with you this afternoon. I'm located here in Switzerland, so the weather's nice here. I hope it's the same in Hungary. So my name is Valentin Hasler. I work for the UCI. I guess no need to present the UCI to this audience. We're the world governing body for cycling, and our main goal is to develop and promote cycling as a competitive sport, a healthy recreational activity, and a sustainable means of transport. So my role is to be a cycling for all coordinator at the UCI, and I will focus mainly on the part of healthy recreational activity and sustainable means of transport. Cycling is a great sport, and just like any other sport, it creates a lot of emotion and passion. It generates a lot of visibility. It's the same for football. Now with the Champions League's final coming up, it's the same with the ice hockey, currently the World Championships going on in Sweden. It's the same with water polo, it's the same with swimming and all the other great sports that we've seen at the Olympics. But cycling is a little bit different. It is more than sport. It's also a means of transport. It's also a great recreational, healthy activity. It's a way to go on vacation as well. So it's on the one hand side a privilege that we have all of this, and it's also a responsibility. And to compare it with other sports or to contrast it, you can take a bike and ride to work, but you cannot swim to work, you cannot football to work, you cannot ice hockey to work. And that's what makes cycling stand out. And at the UCI, we've decided to embrace this responsibility, and that's also the reason why we've launched a program called the UCI Bike City label. It rewards cities and regions that host major UCI cycling events, such as World Championships and World Cups, but also invest in everyday cycling strategies, programs, and infrastructures, and therefore leaving a long-lasting legacy. The idea of the label is to create examples around the world. Currently, we have 28 cities in 15 countries and on 4 continents that are part of this network. And it's to have these examples to maximize the impact of sport to help create better, safer cities for all people on bikes, regardless of your age, your level of fitness, or your cycling activity. To get the label, a host city needs not only to host a major UCI event, as I just told, but also needs to fulfill a set of 10 criteria, among which there is establishing a clear long-term cycling strategy, having dedicated funding to implement the strategy. There is infrastructure, there is organizing mass events, there's providing children's cycling education, etc. So there's a whole set of criteria that you need to fulfill, which in the opinion of the UCI, will get you to become a UCI bike city. That's the framework that you're currently seeing on the screen, and this framework can also be accessed on our website. We've developed a pathway to become a UCI bike city. Maybe your city doesn't have UCI World Championships yet. Of course, there's only one a year. There's 13 disciplines, but one World Championship a year. So it also limits the number of candidates for the label, but that's the whole idea. So today's organizers have asked me to present cases where we've collaborated with cities, with host cities, to create a long-lasting cycling legacy after our events. And the examples I've picked are very recent. It's Wollongong in 2022, where the UCI Road World Championships took place, and Glasgow in Scotland 2023, where the Global Cycling World Championships have taken place. What's very important to know and to understand is that these places, before hosting the competitions, already had a plan in mind on how they would promote cycling. And the events have just been a way to catalyze this change, to go faster. A great opportunity to have all the spotlight on cycling and to move forward quick. If we look at Wollongong, they had already a cycling strategy 2030 in place before hosting the World Championships. Their cycling strategy said cycling should be safe, it should be convenient, it should be planned, It should include business, tourism, and events. That's also where the World Championships come to play, and also generate innovation and support innovative solutions to go cycling. So that would be the overall cycling strategy for Wollongong. The event itself then would align to these strategies and to these goals. It would have sporting a sporting criteria, which is to increase opportunities for participation in cycling across New South Wales and Australia. It would be transport also, to increase the opportunities for people to ride a bike, even to go to work, not just for leisure. Policy, using the event to create and go further by creating new policy, so bring all the politicians together and have them taking decisions during the event. Education, tourism should be a part of it. The people, they wanted to develop people so that they could host different sporting competitions after organizing the World Championships for cycling, so that they could welcome a lot of other sports as well. And then finally also partnerships with the local economy. So now if we look at the results of this, they can be very proud about what they did. So first of all, if we look at the investment generated, not for the event itself, but for all the rest after the event took place, we can see on top left that cycling infrastructure investment was quite substantial, with more than 8 million by the council, so the city itself, but the state also gave more than 5 million Australian dollars. Federal funding were generated with $4.4 million, and there's even more to this. As a matter of fact, the state of New South Wales also included a package of 80 million US Australian dollars to increase mountain biking in the whole region. So not only Wollongong, but on the whole region. So the investment generated was quite substantial. In terms of people, they had more than 2,700 people participating to the community ride, over 17,000 school kids educated on cycling. There's also more than 1,200 volunteers that supported the event, and that was very important because these volunteers have since then also welcomed the Triathlon World Championships, World Championships. And it was the same people, the same processes that were implemented. 36% of survey respondents said they would like to become more active because of the Cycling World Championships. And there is, at the end of 2024, there were more than 100 bike-friendly businesses in Wollongong that were part of a specific program. So quite an impact that they had with the World Championships. And important to say, it's a catalyst for what they had already planned. It's a great opportunity for this. When we now look at Scotland and Glasgow also had already a long-term strategy for Glasgow. It was achieving carbon neutrality by 2030, new active travel strategy and livable neighborhoods planned to be implemented. It was also to transform the streets through positive community engagement and having inclusion of measures to encourage active travel as the preferred choice of transport. So to use the bike instead of using your car. That's basically what it says. So what they did to do so is that they, first of all, they had a whole activation program launched with the National Federation, with Scottish Cycling, that created a program with more than 70 events and 4,000 people participated. The first of all was Experience the World. That's really a grassroots program that was done in schools or in on local pump tracks, etc. Then they had Zwift activations, where you could already go on the actual tour of the World Championships. Champs Time activation. These would be a series of cycle race for amateurs, adaptive cycling, also people that would first of all, for the first time of their life, try a road bike, for example. And then finally there was Race the World, which was an opportunity for kids to participate in a race, and the finalists of the race would then go on the actual track one day prior the pros those would go. And our commission president, Tony Mitchell, would also hand them over a rainbow jersey. It's not the official one, but another one, and the medal as well, just to show that there was a lot of implementation and participation of these people. In terms of results, what we could see is they had a goal to promote inclusiveness and accessibility among audience during the event. And as a matter of fact, 40% of visitors were female, which is very good for a sport that is still very male dominated. 97% of the people found that the championships were inclusive. This was also true for the staff itself. So there were people, also maybe people with disabilities, etc., that could participate in being staff of the event. In terms of encouraging the use of active travel, 82% of the people that came to the World Championships came by active travel, and 79% say they would continue to do so. They were also, Glasgow is also positioning itself as a world-class sporting place, hosting great events, and as a matter of fact, 93% of the teams felt that it was a world-class event, and 79% among individual entrants also were satisfied with the event. In terms of community, there was a strong focus on creating a pride to be Scottish and to welcome all the people from the world to this great event and to make Scotland feel proud about what they achieved. And as a matter of fact, 95% of Scottish people and visitors felt they were proud to be hosting the World Championships. And finally, again, it's not to talk only about money, but also what did they have in terms of investment. So it's over 6 million so far invested across all 32 local authorities, but there is much more to this. As a matter of fact, there is an 8 million found for pump tracks to be implemented, and many more funds that were created for community investment. Also, south of Scotland, which welcomed all the mountain biking, had a plan to invest £92 million in promoting cycling. So also, thanks to the World Championships, you can go faster, you can go further, and you can generate emotion, passion, and have the visibility to take these decisions. So that's just at a glance the results that they were. All these results have been published, so you can look them up. It's very interesting, and so this is a picture from last year's public ride from Tour de Hongrie.
Yes, sorry, I'm afraid we're a bit over time now. Is it? Are you approaching the end already?
Yeah, it's the end. It's just a closing word, is that as cycling organizers, as hosts, as event hosts, we can use emotion and passion and the visibility that cycling generates to create this link between sport and in our case transport, which is very obvious, and therefore become a catalyst for change, having a better event for the people, for the participants, and also maybe even for the sponsors. Thank you.
Thanks a lot for your insights. Esetleg van-e valakinek kérdése az előadóhoz? If there are no questions, just one thing, if you could answer what differences there are between if we regard sports and everyday cycling, are there any differences in development of cycling infrastructure in a city and the promotion of cycling? Are there any big differences or just small ones?
So to promote the sport of cycling, you need people to be cyclists at the very beginning. If you are not used to cycle, if you don't know how to cycle because your neighborhoods, your way to school was too dangerous when you were a kid to go cycling, you will not pick up the sport of cycling because you don't know how to cycle. So therefore there's no issue here in promoting the one or the other. We need to promote more everyday cycling if we want to have the champions of tomorrow.
Thanks a lot for your presentation, and we hope to see you in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It was an honor to be with you, and I'm looking forward to the tour starting tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.